Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. Now, before we start, I've got a little confession. I did actually do this flight already, but the recording was, for some reason, just really, really bad. No, we need to start slowing down. Slow. Let's just jam the brakes for a moment. There we go. Because we do actually need to turn by here. We are at the end of the runway. There is a bit of a cliff there, but we just want to turn around for now, line ourselves up. Okay, perfect. And we're just going to taxi over this hill. So today, we are going to fly from, let me just load up the screen, BIPA Patreksfjorour to BIIS Isafjordur. Now, because I've already flown this flight, I do know that there's a little treat in store for everyone when we get to the arrival. It's really, really cool. So, let's just apply some brakes now. There we go. Oh, I said parking brake on. I did say parking brake on. There we go. Right, yeah, so that's where we're flying. If I show you the map, what we're planning on doing is kind of following the sort of the route around the coast. I'll show you on the map as well, just to make it even more obvious. So we are here, we're facing there, we're going to fly out over that oil rig, and we're going to basically skirt around the edge of here, come back round and head into here. There is a runway, you can see it here. So we're going to come in around there. We could have tried coming from this way, but it's a lot more tricky, as you'll see once we get closer. So that's what we're going to do. Now, I was also given a script by someone from who was watching my videos, Mr. Stuart Hyatt. Or I think it's actually pronounced Hyatt. I'm not quite sure. So apologies, Stuart, if I got your name completely wrong and butchered it there. Unfortunately though, that plugin was immediately sent to quarantine. I don't know why. But I did find another one. I was recommended another one, and I have installed that. I will put the link in the video description so that you can see exactly what it is, but it's another fly with LUA script, and you can see in here it's got some settings and I can change them. So I've put the shadows up to 8K resolution. They do now look a lot smoother. Yes. You can still see... Oh no, here you can't actually. Well, you can still see a bit of jagged edge, but in general it looks much better. Okay, so we are going to get off. Let's just double check. So let's get the heading set to the right area. The altimeter is already set. I think we are now good to go. All the lights are on. Fuel pumps don't need to be on. Pitot heat, don't think it needs to be on yet. Probably will do later. Everything's looking good. Yeah, okay. Let's get going then. So, full throttle. And airspeed alive. We get to that magic 60 knot number. Come on. Go. Okay, and we are up. So we're just going to climb. We'll gently turn towards the oil rig you can see over in the right. That is the best place to go. That is where we want to be. And today we're going to be cruising at 4,000 feet. We're not doing a long distance flight, so we don't need to really be concerned about that. So this is going to be perfectly adequate for what we want to be doing today, 4,000 feet. Okay. Now then. Just want to set the trim up a little. I now am not controlling the pitch of the aircraft at all. I've just moved the trim up a bit. course, I don't know if this is like the real plane. With the rep pack, everything should be exactly like the real plane, but we do seem to change pitch a lot. When I change the pitch trim, we go up, and then we drop back down. Now we're starting to climb again. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure if it's a real feature of the aircraft, something that I am not aware of at all. But yeah, it's slightly odd. Okay, so heading north. You'll also notice if I bring the map up again, I've put the compass rose on. That's because the compass rose is just a little bit easier to use. It gives me a good idea of what heading I should be turning to. Of course, real aircraft don't have it, but I was actually shown a very nice mod, a cabin mod that works with the rep pack, which gives you, I think it was Avitab integration, because all of the previous Avitab integrations I found did not work with rep because they needed you to overwrite the ACF file, and rep also overwrites the ACF file, so it wouldn't have worked together. So let's just take a little look outside. We can see the oil rig down there. We are on our way out. Very nice. So, whoa. Let's start turning towards this end here. Like I said, we're going to just kind of skirt around the edges of these islands. We could go direct, but if I go direct, it's going to just be a really short video. And I would like it to be just a little bit longer. As you'll notice, I'm also trying to hand fly it as much as possible. The problem's going to be when I come to try and control the pitch to get us into level flight. I've never tried to do that myself, so I might make a right mess of it. We will see though. We'll see. And then we'll start leaning the engine once we reach our cruise altitude. I know when I read about leaning, lots of people tend to do it around 2,000 feet, between 2,000 and 3,000 feet they do the leaning. But as we're only cruising at 4, I don't think there's any sense trying to manage the plane's pitch, whilst also trying to play with the leaning. It seems a bit stupid. I would rather just do, one or the other. So I think getting to cruise first is probably a good idea. Right, now, I'm just going to start bringing the pitch trim back down a little. So we're still climbing, but starting to level. I want to get to 4,000, but I don't really want to go flying past 4,000 and still be pitched up. It'd be nice if we could be pretty much level. You can probably hear the clicking actually when I move the pitch trim with the hat switch. Okay. I think we're now going to be going nose down. And we're above 4. Like I said, trying to control the pitch trim is something that I'm not that familiar with. In airliners, you tend not to do it at all. You barely touch the thing. Most of them, you just set it and go. Okay, it looks like we're going to be going at 4,500, and I'm going to be putting altitude mode on. And I think heading 30 will be okay, so let's go heading mode and alt. There we go. Nice. And as you can see, we are now beginning to gain some serious speed, so time for a bit of trimming. A bit of trimming, a bit of leaning. try and just get this stable. Okay, let's pull it back a little bit more, I think. You can see it kind of, as I move the throttle in and out, you kind of get to this point where it goes either a bit too high or a bit too low. Okay, that looks okay. We just have to watch the ground speed to make sure it doesn't dip too much. If it gets too low, like now, we're going to struggle. But this should be better. Yeah, that is better. We can see here, starting to gain. I was going to say grain. We're starting to gain some ground speed, and we can see here the indicated airspeed is also increasing. Perfect. Right. Let's turn a little bit more. I think another 10 degrees. The aim is to hit this point just ahead, and then turn slightly to go directly for that point. And when we get there, we'll round the corner, and we're just going to do the same thing. If I show you on here, here we are currently. We're aiming up here. Apparently a heading of 30 should do that, but it looks like we needed a little bit more. Once we get here, we'll go to there. We'll hop along here, like so, and then we'll start rounding. We'll come round to this beacon and in. And that'll be us done. Yes. And let's have a look. Apologies, you're going to see flicking because I don't remember which of my shortcuts is which. I really need to label them somewhere. I just need to write them on a piece of paper so I know exactly which view is which. Right, that's that. That's that. That's okay. I should know what those ones are. 0 is that one. Let's take this one. I think this is a nice one. So that's Alta 9. Okay. So yeah, let's go back there. Let's crack on for a bit. We'll get round to here and continue with the flight. Okay, so I am just going to disengage autopilot, and I'm going to hand fly for a little bit. And while I do this, I'm going to read you some facts. It is that time. It is fact time. However, I think the best way for me to do this is possibly there we go. I'm going to do it in this view, I think. No, we won't. No, we won't. This is a stupid view. What am I talking about? Ignore me. I'm jibber-jabbering. Right. So, facts for today. Okay, so we've got 3 facts for today. The first one is Erikstadir, birthplace of Leifr the Lucky. You know what? I've changed my mind again. I'm going outside. Outside is better. There we go. Because now I can see exactly what I'm doing. Erikstadir is one of the most historic sites of Iceland. Step back to the Viking era and immerse yourself in the sights, sounds and scents of Erika, the Red's farm, which is also the birthplace of Leifr the Lucky, who is said to have discovered North America. Modern-day Vikings demonstrate the lifestyle of 1,000 years ago, sharing their craft and knowledge. As well as this, we have Kirkjufell, the most photographed mountain in Iceland. Kirkjufell is a beautifully shaped and symmetric freestanding mountain. Its name, which means church mountain, is probably because of its shape, reminding people of a church tower. Standing next to Kirkjufell Foss, you get a great view off the mountain and a perfect shot for your photo. There we go. Right, let's check back in and make sure it's not dropping massively. There we go. This is looking good. So I think we can put this onto a heading again. There we go. Perfect. And the final fact of today. Snæfellsjökull, the centre of the Earth. The Snæfellsjökull glacier is 1446 metres above sea level. The glacier is an active volcano, having been built up through numerous eruptions during the last 800,000 years. Many believe the glacier to be one of the 7 main energy centres of the Earth, and its mystique is noticed by many. The glacier plays a big role as the centre of the Earth in the novel Journey to the Centre of the Earth by Jules Verne. Snæfellsjökull is a part of the Snæfellsjökull National Park, which was established on June 28, 2001. The park's purpose is to protect and conserve the area, the unique landscape, indigenous plants and the animal life, as well as important historical relics. At the same time, the park is meant to allow visitors easier access, as well as improved opportunities to get to know the area. So there we go, that's the facts for today's flight. Now, I was given a great suggestion, which is this. This is a nice view. It's what we see from the cockpit, but of course it's slightly different. So what I need to do though is just go back here, move just the heading. What does the map say? So the map says a heading of, I'd say that's halfway between, so 45 degrees. Which is basically where we're at, so I'm going to go 60. Maybe 60 is a little bit too much. Maybe we'll knock it back. I don't know. Oh, I don't know. That'll do. So, let's continue. What we're going to do next, like I said, is around here. And then turn back in. So you can see where we're going. It's going to be around here. So let's continue with that. And yeah, there we go. Should be a nice view for you. And I'll change the view again, like I normally do, just to give you a better idea. In fact, can I change? No, I can't. We can only go straight ahead. Move. Well, I'll leave it like this for a little bit, and then I might change it afterwards. Okay, so we're getting closer and closer now. I think we've done enough of a time lapse, so you can see from the map where we are. We're just going to come back round. We're going to try and hit this point though. There's a very good reason for that. I think it's actually the reason why there is an ADF there. But we're going to try and just basically hit that point and then swing in. So I can turn the map off now. Something interesting I just noticed. This guy actually does look... No. He looks a bit like me, but I don't look anywhere near that old. From the side he looks more like me. So, autopilot is now off. I have control. And I'm going to begin the descent. Now, of course, to do this, I need to go full lean. I want us to descend at around 500 feet per minute. We're going to go, fairly out to the bay. And because I'm going to do this manually, I'm actually going to switch hands already. Usually I reserve that treat just for landing, but I think today it would be good to do it now. So I'm going to turn very slightly. We don't need to be coming right in. It would be good if we could be hitting that sort of where the compass is now. That would be a good place for us to come in at. There we go. Now, of course, I'm almost certain that in the real aircraft you would trim to descend rather than do what I'm doing, which is just point straight down. But whatever, it'll work. Certain of it. And when I'm ready to show you the surprise, I will do. I'm just really hoping I do well at this landing. I surprised myself in the recording, which, like I said, didn't work, and I actually did do a really good landing, considering how tricky the approach is. But, yeah, I don't know if that's going to be the same this time. We will see. If it is as good as last time, we'll be doing a replay, just so I can bask in my own glory. / we can see how hairy it really is. I'm going to pull the throttle back a bit. Because I've started descending a bit higher, a bit faster even. I think it would be good to drop the speed a little as we're doing that. Nothing too drastic, we're still at 1500 RPM, And I don't really want to be descending faster than 1,000 feet per minute. But I know what's coming up, which is why I'm doing it this way. Look at that mountain above, in front of us. You can see where there was a cloud in the ortho in the satellite image, and it's just gone completely awry. Okay, so now I think is a good time to show you what we're dealing with. That down there is the runway. You will see exactly why this is so tricky as we get closer to it. Whoa, 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 whoa. That was a very jerky movement. This is what happens when you don't have a yoke. You try switching hands halfway through a maneuver. Not a good idea, ladies and gentlemen. At the moment, we're still a little bit high. I think we can just about do it. If not, we're going to take the even trickier approach. We shall have to see. Yes, you know what? We are too high. So last time what I did was we're going to fly the approach, but we're going to be too high, so we're going to have to do the more tricky approach, which is even better. But basically, you follow the road below us, which if I do this view, you see the road down here, you follow this, and at the last second, you just swing in. Quite hairy, to be honest. You can see why I was quite pleased when I actually nailed it last time. Unfortunately, when I nailed it last time, you weren't here to see. So, what we're going to do instead is we're going to not fly it like that. Let me just reset my view quickly. There we go. Okay. We are going to have to go parallel to the runway. So we'll start making the turn now over the village. This is Isafjordur. We'll keep coming down. We're starting to slow, so I can put the first set of flaps out. I want to be doing this turn quite slowly if possible. Maybe not as slowly as we're currently going, but pretty slowly. And we're at 800 feet at the moment, so we do need to keep dropping. Come on, my girl. Get yourself down. So I'm actually trying the trickier approach. Oof. I really hope this goes well. Of course, I'm a bit too high up for that view to really work. But basically, we need to go right up to the edge and then swing in. We're at 500 feet. Let's go full flaps. And we can see absolutely nothing. Kind of going blind here, aren't we? Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's one hell of a turn. So is that, but that's the right turn. And in any moment we'll see a runway and we'll have to try and land on it. There we go, that's the runway. Okay, so float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Yes, I did just say that. You heard me correctly. Come on. Oh, that wasn't bad. Bit of brake to make sure we don't slide off the end of the runway. Okay, nice. Whew, we did it. Well, I did it even. And then got very dangerously close to the edge just then. So I did check. When I did the recording last time, like I said, I was really surprised to find this type of airport. So I said I'd check for the next episode and tell you what the airport's for. This is actually a commercial airport. It's one of not very many in Iceland. Air Iceland Connect operate from here, and they fly a mix of Dash 8 Q2, 3 and 400s. They also fly, don't remember the other two aircraft. Basically, they're all small regional prop aircraft, or maybe even small regional prop aircraft, in fact, which is, I guess, why they can afford to have approaches like this. Because I was really surprised to find not only asphalt, but asphalt and a terminal. Not the kind of thing you expect to find in a place like this. But it's here. So we don't want to take the official parking spots. That would probably annoy Air Iceland Connect. We will just taxi over to the side somewhere. There's a hangar over here. Probably not for the likes of us, but we can go and park maybe next to those fuel tanks. That'd be good. Oh look, this is perfect. Perfect place for us to go and stop. Should be out of anyone's way. There we go. Parking brake on. Strobes off. Taxi off. Landing off. Avionics off and off. Alternator off. Throttle back. Mixture back. Set this to off. Beacon off. Battery off. Nav off. Battery back on, please. Pull you back up. And then battery off. Woo! There we go. So, should we have a look at a replay? Oops. Okay, whatever. Okay, so if we go from here, so you can see what we should do. We should fly from where we are now, follow this road along here and in. Now if I speed us up, skip forward a little bit, so you can see what we're doing. Put this onto standard mode now. So we had to come up here. This is the official route, by the way. You're supposed to fly parallel to the runway and then do a 180 to come back in. I just came back in too quickly. Of course, this plane is small, it can turn very, very quickly and easily, so yeah, I just came in a bit too hard and had to try and correct myself. Luckily, coming in a Cessna also means you have a lot of time to slow down on the runway. Runway. Yeah, so it doesn't matter too much about that. So let's just have a look. Landing view. See how my pilot did here. Bit of a float there. That was fairly smooth, actually. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Nice. Okay. So thank you very, very much. Hang on. What's going on here? I did the replay, isn't it? It needs to come back up again. The replay messed things up a bit, I think. Yeah, there we go. So yes, thank you very, very much for watching. I will see you again next time for the next flight, which will be around the coastline again. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.